Hello, welcome to I guess the first Friday update that I'm doing here. I want to, as part of I guess the content strategy that that we're putting in place for 324 is just having these Friday sessions where it's a bit of how to say a vlog. I'm not a big content person from like a marketing perspective, but this is more of a I guess a vlog. I don't know. It's more of a vlog, I guess. We'll call it a vlog about what we're doing, what we're currently working on, client results, maybe like a weekly newsletter type thing. I'm not sure. It's the first one here. But yeah, thanks for watching, whoever's watching this out there. Yeah, it's been about 4 weeks now since I've been back in the company full time. I left my last position. I was working at an agency for about 3.5 years, built it up from uh, almost scratch. I think I came in 3 or 4 months after it started, and there wasn't too many clients at that point when I came on board. But yeah, built that up after 3.5 years or over 3.5 years, sorry. And yeah, made the leap back into um, still currently running under Outlaw Digital, which is my last name Laidlaw and Nicole, her last name or her maiden name is Elliott. So that's where Outlaw Digital came from. We set that up in 2017 when we were leaving New York. We had some clients that we needed to contract to. We set up a company and traveled for a bit. We'll travel for another 4 years, I guess. And yeah, so now we don't really want to do Laidlaw Digital now that we're married and have the same last name or anything. So we've been trading. Nicole's been contracting for the last few years. The kids are getting a bit older now, and it's a good time for me to come back into the family business. Um, but yeah, so relaunched about 4 weeks ago as 324 Digital. 32's kind of a lucky number in the family. And then there's four of us in the family, so that's where 324 comes from. Got a little orange squiggle representing 324. You see the three at the top. Where is it? Up here? 324. Where am I going? Somewhere around there. Um, so yeah, I guess that's where there's a bit of a background on 324. But no, we're it's exciting. 4 weeks back into it. There's so much needing to be done. Uh like we've been doing a little bit of work behind the scenes before that, but to have a website up and running, to have just basic stuff on the back end of the business. Like we've got to be and this is more for me as well. I got to be um pat myself on the back and ourselves on the back for how far we've come so quickly to get everything up and running. But if any, as anyone would know, setting up a business, like sometimes everything just takes a little bit longer than necessary. Even doing this today, like I'm recording it in Zoom because we at the moment we don't have a um, uh, I guess a locked down way of recording videos. So I mean, I know I've used Zoom before, along with a lot of other people. And this was off the top of my head the easiest way to do it. But I want to have a background on here, right? Because if I take it off, how do I do this? This one here, like none. We've got the office background here. I'm like, that's okay. It's not bad, but I don't know. I just wanted a background. So now you've got a background. And just setting up the background, like it's not even this is not going to be our background. We don't even use Zoom. We're trying to be a bit leaner in operations, and we're at the moment using Google Meet, which is free with the Google Suite, right? So we're using Google Meet. Here's a background, but even that, just like okay, let me throw together a background or find some like Canva template. So yeah, just found that that's a big thing that's coming up is anytime there's a reporting meeting, it's like, cool, well, let's get a reporting template set up. Like it's all stuff that we've used in the past or have like at the last company, like I was in operations and headed up a lot of the systems and stuff. And so I'm coming from 3.5 years of having all these tools being developed and ready to go straight away. So just replicating those is taking a bit of time, but it's all fun. It's all good. We're working so hard. We've made so much progress in 4 weeks, so got to be happy with that. Um, Wins wise, what else we're going to chat about today? I got a bit of a run sheet. Like we'll see how these evolve over the time, but I guess this first one is more a bit of an update on us or a background on us initially, and then I think weekly or wherever this lands, it's potentially a we'll see how it lands in the kind of content scheduling here. But it maybe a little bit intense. We'll see. Anyway, um, a few wins for us, I guess. Like what yesterday or I think it was the day before, last 2 days at least. We've had two kind of requests for proposals come out, which is awesome. Like sales is the massive thing. Sales keeps any organization in business. And so to have two kind of unexpected requests come out is awesome. I'm working hard to get my name out there, put content like this out there, work as much as I can. Like we know we can help people, and it's just our job as marketers for our clients, but also for ourselves to get our name out there, to get people knowing, liking, and trusting us just as we would with a client. So we just got to put that work in for ourselves. But yeah, that was an awesome win. So we got that to do over the weekend. What else we got? I guess on the client side, where we had some client campaigns, which are stalling a little bit. Industry might have had a down week, not too sure, but you still want to get good results for your clients, no matter if there's like reasons or excuses. I wouldn't, I always want to get good results no matter what happens, no matter what's out there affecting things. But seems like we're able to rattle the campaigns, is how I'm putting it. Like we're still running the same campaigns and whatnot, but it just needed like a shaking. It just needed to be shook into life. So yeah, so we saw a couple, two or three leads come through today, and I think one yesterday afternoon after a few days of tinkering. So that was a good win. We had one client, I think it was earlier this week, kind of want to put pause on things. They're a friend and they're not investing too heavily in advertising. These guys were doing advertising. But I think it's a bit of a tough time business wise. It's winter. Their profession potentially has a bit of a down trend based on weather, and it's been pretty shoddy here in Auckland for the last couple of weeks. So they wanted to put a pause, at least on the advertising side of things. So never a nice thing, but we can still help out on the organic and kind of website landing page front. So doing a bit of work in the back end there. But yeah, it's 4 weeks has flown by and it's been real busy. But yeah, very happy so far with how things are going. Client stuff's going well. Yeah, pretty happy. Hopefully in the future would have this is going to be a bit more professionally run, but I don't think we're going to have any transitions or anything. But I guess we'll see. Maybe we will. Maybe we will. All right. So main point of this call, I guess the next 5-10 minutes, I'll just chat about the history of 324, what we've done and where we're going. So like I said, we're kind of born in where was it? The Lower East Side, 16 Orchard Street, down in Manhattan. And yeah, we were about to leave New York, frantically searching on Upwork, on freelancer.com, uh, just trying to get some work in to pay the bills, really. Our goal at that stage is we were flying back to New Zealand. We needed to be back in New Zealand in December. And so our goal was, how can we travel until then? So this was probably March. Start to middle of March is when we left. And yeah, that was the goal, was just make enough money to get through, make enough money to get through. And luckily we did. Long story short, we did. But at that stage, we're Outlaw Digital. We were just picking up everything that we could. Tech, Google Ads for a tech help company. We were doing e-commerce. We were doing just anything that popped up. Did lawyers, did cookie companies over time. Like there was just lots of random stuff in that first 9 months, 6 to 9 months. And yeah, we just picked up work, and Nicole was able to have a client that she worked more and more for, delivered amazing services for, helped that community and that business scale massively or grow massively. So that was really awesome on her end. And yeah, I always just had picked up stuff here and there. Eventually, kind of niched down into events. Really wanted to focus in on events. That was the whole. That's what they say about like a lot of services industries, right? You got to focus in on the riches are in the niches if you're American, but and you find a niche and you're able to serve that niche, you can benefit in a lot of manners through just the service delivery, your messaging, your marketing, just economies of scale, that kind of thing. So focusing on events. And then when I'm talking about now, like around 2019, 2020, and dot dot dot, here comes the big C, and you can't have events when you're in lockdowns, right? So I think we did 5 or 6 events. I think it might have been 7 events in the States. So there were There was boat shows, there was a home show, and kind of like a Christmas show as well. All very cool campaigns, really cool people to work with, and then kind of um, circling back to year two of all those contracts. Had a few meetings lined up to pick up other work. Was involved with a really cool community of show owners over there. I was helping to um, plan that their next AGM or next conference. I guess that would have been in 20. That would have been in 2020. They'd asked me to present at that conference as well, and I was going to be on stage with this. I don't know if I was going to share the stage or they had Marcus Sheridan, who's quite a big marketer or salesperson. He was going to be there as well, so that was going to be really cool for me. I think I got the screenshot somewhere of the guide there. And yeah, the big C comes along. I'm not sure if you can still say it or if it gets if you say the word like it's a Voldemort or anything. Speaking of Harry Potter, anyone who's Harry Potter's probably sitting about there on the bookshelf behind me. Yeah, not sure if you say it and it gets flagged or anything, so that's why I'm kind of avoiding it. Um, but yeah, that happens. We were in Brisbane at that stage. In Australia, we'd lived there for about a year, year and a half. That definitely made working with American time zones pretty difficult. I was getting up sometimes at like 2 a.m. in the morning well, yeah, 2 a.m. is in the morning, um, to for meetings and stuff. And that in Southeast Queensland, they don't really do daylight saving. So I remember sometimes I was getting off calls at 4:30 in the morning, and you need to come down off of calls sometimes, and um and then the sun's up, the birds are chirping, and it's like, well, I'll just have a coffee and keep it going for the day. So it's pretty rough at that stage, but yeah, the events got shut down. Long story short, we ended up moving back to New Zealand. Where we've been ever since, set up a family. Um, I was in a couple agencies here and there over the years as well, just for a bit of stability when things were a little bit rocky. And then moving back to New Zealand, um, worked at one, left, went to qualified leads for the last 3.5 years. Been an amazing experience there. And yeah, really excited to get back out into the open world. It's exciting and it just feels right as well. I think that's the biggest thing. 4 weeks in, even though it's challenging, it's like it just feels like it's meant to be. And you just got to make it work. Uh, you got to put the hours in, put the work in, put the effort in, and just be confident in us that we can help people and that we market. We as marketers, we're supposed to get our clients leads mainly through like online methods. And for us, we got to do online stuff like this content. I've got 29 videos that are going to go out. Every Monday, I've got a video series that's going to come out. It's going to be three things. So three things about blah, Google ads, about blah, Meta ads, about the landing pages, about whatever. So I got 29 topics already set up, and I recorded this morning 15 of those. So I got to edit them, schedule those out for the remainder of the year, kind of thing. But yeah, just feels right. Got to get marketing out there, get in front of people. And yeah, and I guess in terms of what are those people that we're going to try to go after, it should be pretty obvious I guess from my LinkedIn, which is going to be the main kind of hub at this stage, is we're working in the financial advisor space. I guess finance and wealth kind of space, but advisors or people in the wealth and financial industry who are helping people, save for retirement, buy their first home, get better KiwiSaver or results from the KiwiSaver, switching funds, switching providers, and then insurance as well. So I have quite extensive experience in that. Have worked with a financial services firm who really focused in on retirement planning over in Sydney. Worked with them for about it was almost 2 years, I think. And there was a lot of that was like a digital transformation project there. So they redid their website. We helped consult on that. We didn't build the website. Digital campaigns, digital infrastructure. Like there was a ton to work on there. Along with there was a couple clients locally in New Zealand who've probably spent 3 to 4 million, I'm going to say, over the last or maybe probably 3 point something million ad spend. So on Google and on Facebook. On insurance and mortgage and superannuation and KiwiSaver um, campaigns. So yeah, decent experience there. I've worked with accountants before. Like I said, lawyers aren't really who we're going to work with at the moment, but it is going to be heavy finance. And what we got to we already have an insurance client, which is amazing. Um, and we're just locking down. We had an amazing conversation with someone who's going to come on as a mentor for us, for the business, who's exited his financial services company a little while ago, and yeah, super experienced, bit of an old school kind of character, and we're really looking. What we really need to do, what we have been doing, is locking down the services that we're going to deliver online and who needs them. And that's going to be a real key thing for us because obviously you can't just run insurance Google ads for everyone New Zealand wide. Like um, there's some morality there. Like you're directly competing with another client. Like we don't want to do that. Where we're kind of locking down those services, it's where it's lead magnets for. Well, I guess we've got multiple personas that we're going to be looking at, and services. So we don't really want to be competing on a ad account level. But let's say if every single financial advisor in New Zealand came to us and we were able to fix up their Google business pages, that's not competition in my mind. That's an isolated asset. That'd be like a painter being like, I'm only going to paint one home in a neighborhood. Like that doesn't really make sense. Just because one house is painted really nice doesn't take away from any other house in the neighborhood, right? So there's services like that that we're locking down, that is helpful, right? If you type in financial advisor, financial planner, mortgage broker, Ottawa mortgage broker, Tauranga, and you're in Tauranga, you should be showing up. So if we're able to help, well, we are able to help people with that, but there are other services and kind of packages that we're going to put together to enable that to happen. So I actually really like that painting analogy. I've never used that before. So locking down those services, I think this is going to be really good for us. We also got another target, which is people leaving a bank or leaving the firm that they're at and starting up themselves. So there's this whole, if anyone's ever done it before, like setting things up online is a nightmare. Getting a Facebook page, setting it up correctly so it sits under a business manager so that in time you can have a pixel on your website or you can have an ad account. It's not just separated, right? You think about that across Google, or across Meta, across a CRM, a website. You've got all these things that would be great to have up front. And we're putting together a package for that with someone, if they're leaving a bank as a mobile mortgage broker or as an insurance agent or something like that, or leaving another firm, they have 3 to 5 years and they're like, look, I can do the job. I'm just or an aggregator and a domain away from having my own company and a pipeline, then cool, let me step out. And we're looking to be a service that people can come and get pretty much a turnkey kind of online solution. So here's a website, here's a CRM, marketing CRM. Okay, a marketing CRM, not a financial services CRM. We're not looking to replace Trail or any of the other ones. Um, set up social media, set up email templates, set up just a whole bunch of your online kind of suite that you need to just to land at like a B plus. And on top of that, that's when you add your content creation. It's when you add your whether it's YouTube stuff like this, which I think is going to end up on YouTube. Whether it's stuff like what did I say? I said content, video, like blogs. Essentially get like all the foundations and that base layer in place at a B plus level, if not higher, so that everything else on top is just wonderful. And then you've got your how do you scale a company? So if we've got that last kind of persona where it's someone with maybe 3 to 5 people in their business and they want to get to 10, 20 advisors over the next X many years. What can we do to help support that? And we're going to have to navigate that hurdle of competing, uh, whether it's that painting analogy where we can say, "Cool, the service we're going to deliver is the painting of the house." I don't know what the other service would be that would be actually competing, but in that house analogy perspective, but um, maybe we need to bring in partners where we actually refer out the Google or the paid advertising, right? So the paid advertising is what's competitive. If I run an ad for company A in Auckland and I also running that same exact target ad, especially on Google, right? There's limited amounts. You could have a keyword that's only typed in 1,000 times a month in or 200 times a day. More competition for that search term is going to drive up costs. So there's an element of morals there, that we're going to have to figure out what that, as a business, what that means for us. Do we charge exclusivity? Do we source it out to another provider? We don't look at that. We just say like, oh, is it what's the CPL? Um, because you can't, if we say no, we're not going to run your ads, you and they just go off to some other company like willy-nilly. It would be good to be able to have that control, and or not control, that influence over, hey, go to this person. This person's really good. And we can at least audit them from a technical perspective and make sure they're doing things right, or they're not hiding behind numbers. There's a little bit of accountability there, so we can make sure, if we have a client that we're working on, A, B, and C, but we can't do D, we can make sure that D is being done, to a good degree. So yeah, where are we going? We're looking to focus in on financial services space, mortgages, insurance, KiwiSaver, retirement planning, wealth creation, kind of in that vein for Australia and New Zealand. We are going to be, like, I'm connecting with a lot of people on LinkedIn. If you're seeing this on LinkedIn, I appreciate the connection. We're out here to help as much as we can. Um, and yeah, just be a what? A trusted industry expert, a trusted support, place of support. We're going to have content. We're going to have courses in time. We're going to have YouTube how-tos. We don't, especially with AI, I think people have to not see themselves as the creator of information, but as a as the messenger, more the messenger and the curator of information. Because like people are just going to type in like, how do you run meta ads for mortgage brokers? And so I can't feel like people have to come to me and ask that stuff. ChatGPT is going to answer that for people. They're not even going to know about me, and they'll just ask ChatGPT, right? But if we can be someone that supports the intricacies of that, and then in time, maybe people hire us instead of hiring internally. We're going to have a cost that's less than what a full-time marketing hire is going to cover you for. And hopefully we're going to be able to do services at a higher degree than a full-time marketing hire, because that's the kind of one of the benefits of working with an agency or a smaller agency. And at this stage, we're not looking to hire. Maybe we'll have contractors or partners in time for specific things, maybe web development, maybe, I don't know, CRMs, or depending on our capacity internally, especially with Nicole and the kids. But yeah, we'll see over time how things kind of adapt and manage that way. But yeah, I guess close off one little quick tip. It's a pretty crappy blog for now, or vlog, whatever they call this thing. I think a tip that I would give for people out there looking to, you're working on your business. Um, it's a As business owners, we have a lack of time. As people in general, we have a lack of time. Like, how are you supposed to, drink 2 liters of water a day, get 8 hours sleep, see your kids, see your friends, have a social life, work 8 to 9 hours a day, try and have a little side hustle for an extra bit of money, like all this stuff, right? But something that I'm always trying to work on and always striving for is that is getting into that state of flow, where you can just kind of sit down, allocate, I don't know, 2 to 3 hours time, and get something done. Just tackle one task, knock it out. It might be the biggest task. It might be your frog. It might be the most important thing in front of you. It might not be the most important thing, but it's the most urgent thing and it has to be done. So sticking, an hour, 45 minutes, whatever it is on the clock, getting stuck into that, it's super powerful, and it does work, which is why it's so important. And the key thing with the state of flow is that all the research shows it takes 15 minutes to get into that. So the state of flow is all like that you're in the zone, right? That's what maybe you would have heard of it, you're being in the zone. But it takes 15 minutes before you actually can get in that zone. So it's not just, oh, I'm now in the zone, I turn the timer on or whatever. It does take time to get into that. So you have to stick through the 15 minutes. That next 35, 40 minutes, or however long you're going for, that'll fly. Give yourself a 5 minute break, a 3 minute break, whatever it is, and then get straight back into it. You do 3 of those in a row, you're going to knock out that major task. You're going to feel really good about where you are, lowering that anxiety, and actually feel like you've achieved something. So yeah, thanks for sticking with me with this. I don't know how long this is. This might have been like 20 minutes, half an hour. It's probably too long. But yeah, there's a bit of background on us, 324, where our background is, where we're going, what we're looking to achieve. And yeah, really appreciate your time. We'll see what this ends up looking like from an edit perspective. And yeah, all the best for the week ahead or weekend ahead whenever you're watching this. And yeah, we'll see you online. If you need any help with anything, flick a comment down below, I guess. If this will end up on YouTube. So hit us up on in the comments. If you're on LinkedIn as well, then yeah, flick me a DM if you need any help with anything. All right, appreciate it. Talk to you later.